You know what? You might think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I mean, if your idea of crazy is killing somebody because their eye annoys me, cutting off their limbs, pulling up the floor, stuffing them under the floor, putting the boards down, and then inviting the cops on in to search the place while I sit in a chair on those boards over the body, only to confess. If that makes one crazy, fine. Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. I do truly appreciate it. It's so nice to see you. I've got a tale to tell about a telltale heart. And to help tell that tale, I'm inviting my good friend Edgar Allan Poe to do the honors. Folks, if you'll check your ticket stubs, there is verbiage on there that says card subject to change, and it appears my good friend Edgar Allan Poe is not here to help tell the tale of the telltale heart. So your faithful friend Tim is here to do the deed. What I've got in the mail, the friendly neighborhood mail lady hooked a brother up directly from Paul Suntup at Suntup Editions, is a copy of a Telltale Heart. And I'm so excited to show you what it looks like. Just the other day, I got in the mail the numbered edition of Edgar Allan Poe, Poetry and Tales. And I do love that. And if you want to check it out, just go back in time a little bit, a couple days, take a look at that video. I showed quite a bit of good stuff about that book. But here, I want to talk about another thing that I ordered. It is a limited edition copy of the Telltale Heart from Suntup Editions. They printed, I understand, 200 copies, and there were 155, let me check my notes, 155 copies available to the public, and here I am, Tim L. Public, got me an edition, so I'm going to show it to you. It's terrific, I hope. But let me get it open first, show you what it looks like. Suntup Editions is one of my absolute very favorite publishers, and so I'm always excited to get stuff in the mail from Suntup Editions. And this is one when I first heard Paul Suntup say that this book was, the Poe book was going to be available, he talked about an additional item in which you could buy. So it's an envelope inside of an envelope enveloped in another envelope. So let me open up this one here, open this one up and see what she looks like. But he said there will be one of the short stories would be available in a separate letterpress edition printing. And a very smart fellow on the internet, on the Facebook collectors group, said, I'll bet it's a Telltale Heart. And guess what? It is. It was. There it is. So I ordered it. I was excited. I wanted this thing guaranteed. On the Poe edition, I was kind of thinking it's going to be over 1,000 pages. I didn't know how much it was going to be. I was thinking it was going to be $1,000 or something like that, but it was a whole lot cheaper than that. So I did order it, and I got it in the mail, and I'm so glad I got that one in the mailbox. But I was going to buy this one regardless, and guess what? I bought this one immediately. I ordered the numbered edition the day or the next day or 2 days later or something like that. I had a little time because I had rights to it. But I ordered the Telltale Heart right away, and I'm glad I did. And here she is in all of her splendid glory. All right, so let's get rid of all the other stuff. And this is what I would call, as no expert of any real regard, this is what I would call a chapbook, and I reckon that's relatively accurate. But it is printed letterpress, and the cover is Hanamule Bugra paper. So it is a paper cover, and it's a hand-sewn edition. You can see there on the back of the spine. Can you see that? You can see the spine, how it is sewn chapbook, and it is so nice. The Telltale Heart. I love that cover, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. The Telltale Heart is maybe the first or second Poe story I ever read. It was required reading in some young grade in school when I definitely wasn't interested in reading, but I also definitely wasn't interested in reading from 19th century authors. So I didn't appreciate that stuff then. Fortunately for me, I've aged like a cheap wine in a box, but it still tastes good. And not that I taste good, but I have learned to appreciate some things that I once did not. They say youth is wasted on the wrong people, and in my case, it sure enough was. I wish I had that stuff back, because I think I could do a better job with it now. Anyway, back to the matters at hand. This edition here, I want to show you when I open it up right there. This is a wood engraving by Rosemary Fate Covey, which is printed from the block. And you can see it's on a page that is just slightly smaller than the other pages. See, it's a little bit shorter, doesn't stick out as far. And this is attached to that page. So it's attached to it, and it is a very cool deal. There's our title page. This one is printed letterpress. The paper is what they call Hanamule Biblio, if I understand correctly. And it is set in Foundry Bodini type. So on this title page you can see a bit of a rough edge, and man, it's nice. It's hard to see. Can you see the texture on that paper as well as the embossing, or the watermark? I guess it'd be embossing. It kind of sticks out a little bit there on the page edge. So beautiful stuff, beautiful, excellent stuff. And like I said, letterpress printing, and just take a look at that. Look at the page color, but also the typeset. Get a little bit closer so you can see what I see. Do you see what I see? I believe this edition is 16 pages, and there's 13. It's numbered up to 13 numbered pages, but there are the couple in the front that I showed you, the very back page there. It's limited edition, but it's not numbered. So I said there were supposed to be 200 copies printed, 155 available for sale. The other ones, I believe, were available for lettered buyers of Poe, and I don't know how many lettered editions there were, but there were some that were given out from other stuff, and it is signed by the engraver, or the artist involved with the engraving. However that works, or however it was created, I do not know. But then this final page also was just slightly shorter than the page before it. And man, it looks just so nice. And you can see here again, this back page has that rough, unfinished edge, and the paper, you can see the texturing on it. It's almost like you would see on a business card, a fancy business card or something like that. But a beautiful book, beautiful little chat book, an excellent story from Poe. This is one that I've probably read a dozen times in my life. It feels like I always get the same wonder from it. And this, as I flip through, you can see how that is hand sewn and where it attaches directly in the center of the book. So that's The Telltale Heart from Suntup Editions, one of Edgar Allan Poe's most well-known, perhaps most popular stories, one that I do truly love. And with that, I can think of no more lies to tell. Thank you for your time. I truly appreciate it. C'est la vie, baby. Doo-doo. You were not brought into this world to get it.